You want to know if your lease has positive equity. Well, how do you figure it out? Well, in short, it really just means that the value of your car is more than your price. So if there's a positive difference between your trade value and the payoff amount, that's your positive equity. So how do you figure it out? First thing, you want to get your payoff amount from your leasing company. If you're in the middle of your lease, it's the current payoff quote, or they call it the dealer payoff quote. It does not have any tax included in it because dealers are tax exempt when you sell them the car. If you're at the end of your lease, it's your residual value. That doesn't have tax in it. So either your current payoff or your residual, then you go and look up your trade value. You can get that on Kelley Blue Book or a lot of other online sources. You subtract the two numbers, the payoff, the trade value minus the payoff. The difference is your equity. Now, ultimately, you're going to need to sell the vehicle to a dealership to take the equity out. And the way that you do that depends on who you lease with. So some leasing companies have third-party sale restrictions where you can't just go sell it anywhere, like to a CarMax or a Carvana, which is the easiest thing to do. In those situations, like with Honda Finance, they do have a third-party sale restriction. You can just sell it back to any Honda dealer. So if you want a new Honda, you can do a direct trade, or if you want to get a different brand car, you get that car and then you sell your current Honda lease back to a Honda dealer, and you just separate the process. There's a lot of benefits to not actually making a down payment or using the trade towards the next car. I have videos about that. If you put the equity in your pocket, it's the same difference because you still have the money to pay a higher payment as opposed to just paying down the payment with the trade. So either way it works. It is definitely easier if you can just do a direct trade. There are plenty of leasing companies out there that do not restrict you at all, and you can just trade it to any dealer that you want. Those make it the easiest. And then there's some leasing companies out there, they're kind of like a hybrid. They're captive finance companies. They're banks like US Bank, Ally Bank, and a few others that aren't tied to any manufacturer, so they make it kind of difficult. They'll increase the price when you try to trade or sell it. Some of them will let you trade or sell it if you stay with them into the next lease, but you have to find a dealer who is willing to lease through like Ally or US Bank to do that. So it kind of ties you down on what your options are. Another thing you could do, which is definitely possible, is you could buy the car yourself, pay it off, pay the tax, transfer the title, and then now you have complete ownership of the vehicle. You could then sell it to anybody. If you have the next driver lined up, you could sell it for more than the trade value. If you have somebody who's willing to pay close to the market value, that's an option. It takes a little more work, a little bit more finances on your part, more time finding the buyer. So it's something you could do, but it might be easier just to trade it. But that's how you do it. You just need to know your payoff amount and your trade value. Also, I wanted to mention, ultimately the dealer you sell it to is going to give you their own trade value, but it's good to have a few offers, a few different valuations, so that if someone tries to lowball you, you can say, no, look, someone else is offering me more, or Kelley Blue Book says this. They're always going to be on the low end of Kelley Blue Book, but you never know. Dealers are in competition with each other to get this used car inventory. I live in Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas, and there's dealers around here advertising, we'll pay $3,000 over Kelley Blue Book. So if you can find a dealer, that needs a used car, you might be able to get top dollar for your trade, or just to sell it and pocket the equity, like I said. But it all boils down to, is your car worth more than it costs? All right, guys, I'm the lease guy. I'd love to help you figure this out for yourself, do an equity evaluation, come up with a shopping strategy, all from home, by email, using my template. I have an online training course you can watch. You can book a call with me. We can go over it one-on-one. I'd love to help you. I'd love to support you in your leasing process. Please like, subscribe, come back for more.